Alright, welcome back to CelJaded Plays Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 for Tuesday, week 2 of February 2006. This is an episode of SmackDown ahead of No Way Out, which will be airing in week 3 of February. A lot of stories to get to on this episode, but before we hit the main card, we have a pre-show match here, a match that we announced previously. It is Tajiri advancing in the first round of the United States Championship Tournament when he gets a very dominant win over Sylvan, going over with the buzzsaw kick there. So the reason this match didn't make it to the main card is that neither guy are over enough to survive there without penalties, and judging by the dismal performance of Sylvan in this match, it's not a match we'd really want to feature on the main card if we could help it. So when you start the 2006 mod, the mid-card is in a very dreary state. There's a lot of guys who just aren't very over, unfortunately. So some of these mid-card matches here are a little bit difficult to factor in to the main televised broadcast, and this is an example of it. So whilst normally I wouldn't like to announce a match and then immediately put it on the pre-show the next time you see it, we had to use a little bit of leeway that the video game gives us. It's not something you might do in real life, but for the video game, of course, we can advance our tournament on the pre-show, and then hopefully the next time you see a match in this tournament, it will be televised from then on. So just needed to get this one out of the way. And you'll come to appreciate as well with this episode, it is a little bit more of a housekeeping episode in the sense that you'll see some of the dismal kind of mid-card that we have to work with, and we're just going to use this opportunity to squeeze whatever juice we can out of some of these lugs like Sylvan, and just transfer whatever heat we can to some of our more capable workers, so that we can let the Sylvans of this world let their contracts expire, or just kind of like send them to developmental or fire them or whatever, because they're not going to be used on this mod for much else. So there you have it. So Tajiri goes over strong here, but our first segment of the main card is the World Heavyweight Champion Batista, and he is talking about his history with Randy Orton. So some great promo time here for our world champion at the top of the hour, and really taking the opportunity now to make the situation between him and Randy Orton as personal as we can, talking about Randy. So Batista's talking about Randy, how he met him in OVW, how they came up together, how they formed Evolution, all this stuff. Like I said, really making this a personal issue between the two men, before calling Orton an opportunistic coward. So even though Batista is not strictly booked to face Orton anytime soon, because remember, Orton is not in a title match at No Way Out, Batista obviously has a lot to say about Randy, because Randy has a lot to say about him. And as we move over to our next segment, it is Orton here who appears and goads Batista into wrestling a non-title match tonight. So Randy Orton getting his opportunity now to reply to Dave's comments, and basically talking about his side of the story as Randy Orton sees it, but with a heel spin on it, no doubt. And then makes the point to Batista that if Batista's so confident and he's so great in his championship position, he should be out here challenging guys every single night if he wants to be a fighting champion. And Batista's kind of lured into this and kind of happily accepts. But it's not Orton he'll be facing, because Paul Burchill interrupts now and says to Orton that, look, you've won the Royal Rumble, you're probably going to get your chance against Dave Batista if he can hold on to his title belt all the way to WrestleMania. So I'll take that challenge if Batista is making it. So there it is, Batista now getting challenged by Burchill, and the match is on. So we are going to be getting to that as our first match at the top of the hour here. But before we do, it is Orton sitting at the commentary desk, the classic trope with the heel on commentary here, burying the babyface in the ring. So Randy Orton here alongside Michael Cole and Taz for our opener, with the World Heavyweight Champion Batista in a non-title match against Paul Burchill. And there you go. Wow, decent match as well. Wow, 69. Really good score for this one. So Batista putting in a great performance, and Burchill no slouch either, keeping up with him. So this is not a squash match by any means. May not be super ultra competitive at the same time, but it accomplished what it needed to do. And Burchill got a good match here with Batista, so a good shine on one of our mid-card workers. Didn't get gobbled up by any means, but the win is definitively Batista's. And after the match, the bigger story, of course, is Batista now dragging Orton from the commentary desk. He's been overhearing the kind of things Randy's been saying, and that temper of Dave's gets the better of him here. So they are brawling all the way to the ring, and it is Orton in position now for the Batista bomb. Just in time, Randy takes a powder. And sorry folks, you're going to have to wait another day to potentially see that move hit Randy Orton. So Randy Orton here retreating up the rampway, Batista looking dominant in the ring as our champion, and a great start to the show from all guys involved here. Really good stuff. And next, it is Shane McMahon, who is booking our main event, which will be a huge 8-man tag team match. So this is a huge spotlight here for our tag team division, which has been middling for the longest time. So 8 men will be involved in the main event. So this is promising to be a real spectacular match, because it is the Mexicals, Psicosis, Super Crazy, and Juventud Guerrera, who will be facing Melina's men. Shane McMahon alongside Melina here, saying that her men, Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, will be in this match alongside his men, of course, Jamie Noble and Kid Cash as well. So the nice thing about this as well is that Rey Mysterio will be joining the Mexicals, fellow Hispanic wrestler, of course, to really set this main event on fire. So it's going to be 8-man tag. A lot of talent involved in that one, and they're going to have the time as well at the end of the show to really kind of spotlight themselves and get some shine on this division at last. And then next, we have got Trinity, who challenges Matt Hardy to face The Miz. So The Miz aligned himself with Trinity recently, but here, Matt Hardy once again refusing Trinity. Again, refuses her and walks away. So The Miz and Trinity here looking very upset and realizing they're going to have to try something different to get under the skin of Matt Hardy. So we'll pick this one up a little bit later with Trinity, The Miz, and Matt Hardy. Next, it is Bobby Lashley, who is hyping his appearance at No Way Out, where he will be facing Mark Henry and Dave Batista in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight title. So Bobby Lashley was on a bit of a tear in the Royal Rumble, got the most eliminations during that match, and has looked pretty decent ever since. And then we have FBI. So if we want to talk mid-card, well, it doesn't get any more mid than this. It is Nunzio and Vito here, who make the mistake of interrupting Bobby Lashley in the middle of his big promo here, and Lashley points at Vito and says, "I will see you in the ring." So you can pretty much guess what's going to happen next, can't you, folks? And yep, there it is. So in a quick squash match, it is Bobby Lashley getting the last embers that we can here out of Vito in another very transparent move to siphon some heat onto one of our mid-card stars. So a great performance from Lashley here. And thanks to Vito for doing it the favour. And you can probably hit the bricks now, kid, because I doubt we'll need you much longer in this save. But again, the big story is after the match, where it is Mark Henry, and the story doesn't get any bigger than this guy. So it's Mark Henry now, who appears to stare down Lashley, one of the 2 men he will be facing at No Way Out in that big triple threat match. These 2 men, of course, have had quite a lot of heat recently, and Lashley is almost taunting Henry from the ring by showing off his strength and looking dominant after his big win here on SmackDown. I say big win. It was only Vito, but hey, I'm sure it looked good for the 3 minutes it was on anyway. So good stuff from Bob and Mark Henry. Looking forward to meeting this man in the ring very soon. And we are back now with The Miz confronting Matt Hardy now instead of Trinity. Trinity at his side while he confronts Matt Hardy. And we peel back the curtain once more on this angle a little bit now. So The Miz kind of making the point to Matt Hardy that he's been talking to Trinity and he's heard about their history together. So Trinity and Matt Hardy apparently came up together when they were getting started in the wrestling business, and Matt Hardy kind of pledged to Trinity that they would be a team, that they would go to the top. They were not a romantic couple, anything like that. They were just friends, and they agreed that they were going to take each other to the top. But somewhere along the line, Matt Hardy abandoned Trinity, and The Miz says he is here to defend her honor. So interestingly here, Matt Hardy's not going too much into detail, but he's kind of saying to Miz that, look, you don't know the whole story, okay, between me and Trinity, and you're talking about defending Trinity's honor. Well, I question your honor, Miz, and that's kind of like the theme of this promo anyway, is these 3 individuals really getting tied up in knots here, trying to navigate this very, very tense situation between them. So, yeah, good stuff here from The Miz with the improvising, and Matt Hardy doing a good job here as well, especially with his gimmick. So I love to see it. So Trinity, The Miz, and Matt Hardy. Issues starting to heat up a little bit now as SmackDown rolls on. And now we are back with Shane McMahon and Melina from earlier, so they're kind of finishing up kind of their discussion that they were having. Of course, Melina's men, Nitro and Mercury, will be involved in that huge 8-man tag that Shane has booked them in. So definitely a little bit of collusion going on between Shane McMahon and Melina. And then Melina, as she finishes talking to Shane and those two part ways, we got one of those amusing camera angles where Melina turns around and she's instantly face to face with someone she would really rather not be seeing right now. And that someone is Akira Hokuto, who immediately springs into action and tosses Melina around in the backstage area. So Melina, of course, with the aid of Aja Kong, kind of her hit woman at the Royal Rumble, really did a number on Akira and kind of embarrassed her at that pay-per-view. So Akira getting herself a little slice of revenge here against Melina, as Melina gets kicked around backstage by Akira. So good stuff here from the babyface, taking it to the heel. Love to see it. And then next, we have got an irate William Regal who tells Roddy Piper to back off, quite simply. So William Regal and Roddy Piper, of course, have been at odds recently. Now, originally, Roddy Piper kind of agreed with Regal's philosophy and kind of shook his hand almost and said that, you were right. I do believe that locker room's gone soft, that those younger workers could do with learning a lesson in respect. But Piper's telling Regal that he is taking this new attitude of his too far. He has gone too far, stretching guys in the ring and kind of, knocking them out after matches. This isn't the way to make your point, Regal. So Roddy Piper here kind of being very straight and very honest with Regal, the way he sees it anyway. And Regal, for his part, is now departing because he is getting ready for a match, which is coming up next. And the opponent may surprise you. That's right. And it's a match with a decent reaction from the crowd, apparently. So, great stuff from Regal here, pulling a good match out of the useless Boogeyman. But such as it is William Regal getting the win over the Boogeyman of all people. And, I put this match here for a very specific reason. Like earlier, of course, we want to siphon as much popularity as we can from some of the deadwood in this mid-card. And surprisingly, Boogeyman actually does have a little bit of popularity on him. So we can definitely suck that away and put it onto someone more useful like William Regal. But another reason why I put this here is because I just want you to share in my pain, okay? When you play a 2006 mod on a booking simulator like this, yes, this is what you've got to work with. Because when you think of 2006, of course, you think of the Boogeyman. And but I like the story here because in 7 minutes 44, this is William Regal not selling a damn thing in this match. None of the voodoo, none of the mind games, none of the hocus pocus. William Regal's just like, get out of here with that crap. And he just beats the ever-loving tar out of the Boogeyman here and just really embarrasses the guy. Very cathartic, this one. So William Regal destroys the Boogeyman on SmackDown and takes his time doing it. So good stuff here. And like I say, hopefully that transfers us a little bit of heat where we most need it. But after the match, it is Regal who slugs poor Boogie down and beats the crap out of him once again, just to really make our point here that you'll probably not be seeing the Boogeyman ever again. And Roddy Piper, quite amusingly, does not come to the rescue because it is the Boogeyman, but he does come out to glare at Regal as Regal walks to the backstage area, and those two kind of share a look, and William Regal almost saying like, I made my point again, don't you forget it, Piper. So Roddy Piper here, not impressed with Regal's conduct. But William Regal making another point here on SmackDown with another brutal beatdown. So good stuff from him. And then next we have got The Undertaker, who is talking about his elimination in the Royal Rumble. So, of course, he had that vision about him winning the Royal Rumble for the first time. That did not come true. But now, as he looks up into the rafters, just as the talent love to do, probably at the WrestleMania sign, Undertaker says he is planning something much bigger now. So, Undertaker here with some quality promo time, talking about his plans for the future of the dead man. So, love to see it. Okay, we are rapidly approaching the main event that Shane McMahon booked earlier in the show, and here is Rey Mysterio to greet Shelley and the rest of the Mexicals ahead of their 8-man tag team match. So it will be Mysterio, Juventud, Psicosis, and Super Crazy all in the same side here as they face Kid Cash, Jamie Noble, and Nitro and Mercury. So a real great opportunity for our tag team division here to get some shine in a main event spot. So I've got high hopes for this one. We have given them the go-ahead to steal the show, such as it is. Again, us being right at the end of the show, not much show left to steal. But this is it, our big main event between the two teams, a huge 8-man tag. Best of luck to them. All right, and we get the deep green, so good stuff. We asked them to deliver, and they did. So in a decent match, it is Super Crazy, Rey Mysterio, and the Mexicals and the rest of the Mexicals who defeat Eminem and Cash and Noble, with Rey Mysterio getting the pin on the Cruiserweight Champion. How do you like that? And Rey Mysterio, of course, bringing an excellent performance as he always does. We've got lots of bonuses here contributing to this one for all sorts of good work with everyone involved. So, even with the low heat of the storyline itself between the Mexicals and Shane's gang, this is definitely the high point of this story now, this tremendous tag team match. So finally, it seems like we are slowly but surely tuning up the tag team division, at least on the SmackDown side. This is one area on where SmackDown maybe does have the advantage over Raw, is that the tag teams are slowly getting more over and kind of getting into place. So really great main event here. So very thrilled with this one. But we've got a segment after the match because Cash and Noble ambushed the winners here. So they ambushed the winners after the match, and Eminem joins in the beatdown. So now you have Psicosis, Super Crazy, Rey Mysterio, Kid Cash, Johnny Nitro, and Joey Mercury all in the ring at the same time. The brawl is on, but as we said there, Cash and Noble kind of got the initiative, and the Mexicals are getting beaten down pretty badly. So it's what is this here? Like a 4-on-4, a huge kind of brawl, but with the initiative on Shane's side, it doesn't look good. And Shane McMahon hits the ring, of course, as well. He's joining in the melee to make it 5-on-4. You've got Melina and Shelley probably at ringside, kind of brawling as well. So a scene of absolute chaos here. But unfortunately, the numbers are not on the Mexicals' side, which leads to one final segment. Oh, and a doozy it is, because it is Shane ordering Kid Cash to go to the top rope. Rey is laid out on the commentary desk, and it is Cash who splashes Rey straight through the commentary desk in a huge bump to end the show. So, and then we have Shane, who celebrates in the ring to a chorus of boos as his men here have essentially dismantled Rey Mysterio and the Mexicals. So Rey Mysterio got the pin on Kid Cash during the match. Rey Mysterio pinned the Cruiserweight Champion, and Kid Cash got his revenge here by putting Rey Mysterio through the table in a huge bump to end the show on a very high note, considering. Good stuff here from these men. So that is the end of SmackDown. And we got a 76, so pretty decent overall as well, considering we didn't have Batista in our main event. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, a pretty good show from SmackDown on this occasion. It was a real great thing to see our tag teams put on such a great performance in the main event. We did have a little assist from Rey Mysterio, but hey, everyone has to use a cheat code every once in a while, so we'll let it slide. So great stuff from the tag teams there to end SmackDown, and then when we come back next week, it will be the go-home show of SmackDown ahead of the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view No Way Out. So that'll be our last chance to tune up that card. So make sure you tune in, and I will see you next time for week 3 of February 2006, playing the Shifting Sands mod. This has been CelJaded. My name is Alex. Have a great day. I will see you next time.